Hey guys, it's Mr. C and welcome back with your level 6 math. Today we're looking at Saxon math lesson 31 on areas of rectangles. Now this is a really useful lesson because you're going to be calculating area for the rest of your life as you figure out how much square footage you need for carpet or for lawn or for a garden or for a bunch of different things. So we measure square footage a lot just for different building projects, but of course we can use the areas of rectangles to help calculate other things in architecture and a lot of different disciplines. All right, so Mr. McGregor has a fenced-in area for a garden. It's 20 feet long by 20 feet wide, or vice versa. And so we see the perimeter is the distance around it. So if we had 20 feet over here and 40 feet up here, we can just add 20 plus 40 is 60, and then times that by 2 is going to be 120 feet around. That's the perimeter. But how do we know what's inside the garden? What's the actual measure of the size of the garden? For that, we need to measure the surface area enclosed by the shapes of the sides. So remember, we had 40 and 20. Now, to calculate that area, all we have to do is use a measurement tool like this. So this is one I have at my home where I can simply measure and it will calculate it for me. Or if you don't have one of those handy, you can just use basic math. So to do this, we're just going to measure with square units. So 1 centimeter, 1 square centimeter. So you'll see if one length is a unit, in this case 1 centimeter, if we made a square unit, that's going to tell us the area. In math, the way we'll do this is we'll take the common units of square inches, square feet, yards, meters, centimeters, anything, and we can measure even square miles, and you'll want to think about that as like tiles, okay, just like I showed on the last slide. The area of the shape is in the number of floor tiles or units per measurement. So here in this first example, they've showed how many tiles there actually are. So if you want to know the area, you can just go through and count these all up. And if you want to take a long time to do this in your homework, you can do this on every problem. But it's much easier just to plug in the calculation. So here it says on 1 foot, if the tile is 1 foot on each side, what's needed to cover a room that's 8 feet wide and 12 feet long? Well, to calculate area, all you have to do is multiply the width by the length. So all we have to do is measure 8 times 12 and feet times feet. 8 times 12, of course, is 96, and then feet times feet is squared feet, or feet squared. And so we'll just line those up, 12 tiles, 8 rows. We get 96 total tiles needed. And for the measurement, each one is a foot long on each side. And so it would be foot squared. Let's go ahead and go to the second one here. The area of this rectangle is 8 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So we're going to multiply 8 times 4, which is 32, and centimeter times centimeter, which is squared centimeters, or centimeters squared. So we'll get width times length. 8 times 4 is 32 squared centimeters. Now, in your homework, you can write this a few different ways. You can say square, oh gee, this marker's no good. You can do square centimeters, like they've written here. You can also do centimeters squared, which honestly, this is the most common way to do it in the real world, and the way I prefer to do it is centimeters squared. What you can't do is squared centimeters like that. Don't write it that way, because that just looks like 2 centimeters. And so you want to do centimeters squared if you're going to say it that way, or squared centimeters. And if you don't want to abbreviate it, you can just write out square centimeters. Okay? All right. So here we have a problem that we're going to have to work through in reverse. They're giving us the area. It's 100 square inches. And we know our formula is length times width. So how long is each side of a square? If it's a square, what times what equals 100? Well, in a square, it'd be something that's multiplied by itself. So we know 10 times 10 equals 100, so that's going to be the length of each side. So how long is each side of the square? 10 inches. What's the perimeter? Well, if a side is 10 and there's 4 sides in a square, then it'd just be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 40, okay? So that's our perimeter. So what's the number that multiplied by itself is 100? 10, and then each of those added for the 4 sides is 40 inches. That is the whole assignment. Good luck. This is a fun one. All right, bye.